Right now, President Obama is trying to move forward with his message of change at a time when even some members of his own party are standing in his way. Just a short time from now, he'll be signing a bill designed to help families save their homes and another bill to give prosecutors more tools to fight financial fraud. We'll have live coverage of that coming up. Tomorrow, the president will try to take control of the red-hot debate over his anti-terror policies, scheduled to give a major address outlining his plan for closing the Guantanamo Bay prison camp, a plan derailed by the U.S. Senate today. Let's go to Capitol Hill for more on that Senate vote and why Democrats delivered an overwhelming slap at their own president. Let's go to our senior congressional correspondent, Dana Bash. Wow, Dana, what's going on?
Well, what's going on is that the president's fellow Democrats and the FBI director are making his promise to close Guantanamo Bay much more difficult.
No terror suspects at Guantanamo Bay may be released, transferred, or imprisoned anywhere in the U.S. That directive passed the Senate by a stunningly lopsided margin, 90-6. A rebuke to the president and a stark indication of how uneasy this explosive issue makes lawmakers, even Democratic leaders like Byron Dorgan.
I'm not very interested in transferring detainees from Gitmo to North Dakota. I'm sure many of my colleagues feel the same way, but first, let's see what kind of a plan this president proposes, and then we'll move forward.
FBI Director Robert Mueller appeared to affirm senators' concerns, telling Congress bringing detainees to the U.S. does pose risks, even if they're behind bars.
The concerns we have about individuals who may support terrorism being in the United States run from concerns about providing financing to terrorists, radicalizing others.
Still in the raging battle over what to do with Guantanamo prisoners, some lawmakers say they have no problem putting them in federal prisons.
As a former prosecutor, I am aware of the kind of people that we put behind bars in this country. They'd give terrorists a run for their money in terms of being bad, dangerous people.
Good morning, Senator Nelson's office.
But in Nebraska Democrat Ben Nelson's office, most callers say
not to bring them to Nebraska. So I think that may be true almost everywhere.
Nelson admits there is a not in my backyard fear factor at play, but says it's just inappropriate to imprison and try Guantanamo suspects in the federal system.
I don't think the American people will stand for bringing a bunch of detainees for prosecution over here, and it's in many ways that simple.
So at this point, lawmakers have denied the president the $80 million he wants to begin closing Guantanamo Bay, and they have also effectively blocked the transfer of those prisoners to U.S. soil. But there is one more move that Republicans have that they're pushing on the Senate floor, and that is to require the president to come up with a threat assessment for every one of the 240 detainees currently in Guantanamo Bay. That could be something that could tie the president's hands on this even further, Wolf.
And we'll see what the president says about all this in this big speech he's going to be giving tomorrow. Dana, thanks very much. There are numerous notorious criminals and convicted terrorists already serving jail in the United States in some of those supermax facilities. Abby Tatton is here to outline what is going on, because there are some bad guys already serving time in a lot of these jails.
And we're looking specifically at the Supermax facility, which is 45 miles away from Colorado Springs in Colorado, where currently 465 inmates are housed, and they contain some of the most notorious household names. The Al-Qaeda terrorist Zacarias Moussaoui is there, Richard Reed, the shoe bomber, Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, the list goes on, Terry Nichols, Oklahoma City conspirator. Those are the people, the names that are most recognizable. 95% of the inmates here have been transferred from elsewhere around the country because they are the most violent, they are the most escape-prone prisoners, and this is the place that they're being housed. To keep them in, they spend almost 23 hours a day in their own cell, 86 square feet, a window just 4 inches wide that overlooks another part of the facility, not the outside world. And to keep people out, strong measures in controls there as well, like cables, large cables that are strung over outside areas, that to specifically prevent attacks from the outside, specifically a helicopter deterrent there at Supermax.
Yeah, it's a tough place in Florence, Colorado. All right, thanks very much, Abby, for that.